right, let's jump into another deep dive. And this time we're going full holiday mode.
Okay.
We're talking about the 2009 Robert Zemeckis, A Christmas Carol.
All right.
A visually stunning adaptation of the Dickens classic.
It is.
You know, everybody knows the story.
Right.
Miserable old Scrooge hates Christmas.
Yep.
Haunted by ghosts. Learns the true meaning of Christmas. We know all that.
Yeah.
But what makes this version so special?
Well, I think the motion capture technology that Zemeckis used, it really creates a completely immersive experience.
Yeah,
Like you're stepping right into a Dickens novel.
You really feel like you're in 1840s London.
Yes.
It's incredible.
Yes, it is.
So we've got amazing visuals, but at its core, this is a story about Ebenezer Scrooge.
Right.
And Jim Carrey as Scrooge is incredible. I mean, it's Jim Carrey.
Right.
But he brings a depth to the role
He does.
that I wasn't expecting.
Yeah, I think what's interesting is how he manages to convey both the bitterness and the vulnerability of Scrooge.
Yeah, and it's there right from the beginning.
It is.
Like when he's haggling over the price of Jacob Marley's coffin.
Yes.
Moments after the guy's death.
Yeah, that scene is just, it's shocking.
It's shocking. And it's like, what is this? But I think it speaks to a deeper fear that Scrooge has.
It's not just about being cheap. It's about this fear of connection, this fear of vulnerability, of ending up alone and forgotten just like Marley.
Yeah, and that brings us to Jacob Marley's entrance.
Ooh!
I mean, those chains, that face.
It's terrifying.
It's terrifying. I've seen this movie so many times, and it still creeps me out.
I think it's such a brilliant visual representation of Marley's burden.
Yeah.
The weight of his greed literally dragging him down.
Yes.
And then those other tortured souls outside Scrooge's window screaming.
Yeah.
Like, you know, you're getting a glimpse into Scrooge's potential fate.
It's like, hey, Scrooge.
Yeah.
This could be you.
Yeah.
And then Marley lays out the prophecy of the three spirits.
Past, present, and yet to come.
Right. Each one representing a different part of Scrooge's journey.
Absolutely.
Now, visually, each spirit is so distinct.
Yes.
Like the ghost of Christmas past, this ethereal being made of fire.
It's beautiful.
Representing memory, regret.
Yeah, that fleeting but powerful nature of memory.
And the way he takes Scrooge back to his childhood.
Oh, it's heartbreaking.
Abandoned at boarding school, neglected by his father.
Yeah.
You really start to understand why he became so closed off.
You see that he wasn't born a miser. He became one through these painful experiences.
Yeah.
And it's through revisiting these moments that he begins to recognize the seeds of his own unhappiness.
But there are these glimmers of hope in his past.
There are.
Like his sister fan.
Oh, she was such a ray of sunshine.
She was.
In his otherwise bleak childhood.
And for a moment, you see a different Scrooge. Capable of love and joy.
Absolutely. And I think that scene where Fan brings him home from boarding school, it really highlights that transformative power of love and connection.
The things that he's been missing.
Yeah, the things that he's forgotten.
And of course,
yeah,
there's Belle.
Oh, Belle.
His former fiancée. And that scene where she breaks off their engagement.
Heartbreaking.
Because of his obsession with wealth.
Oh, it gets me every time.
Yeah.
It's such a pivotal moment. Because Belle represents everything Scrooge could have had.
Right. Love, family, happiness.
But he chooses wealth instead, believing it will bring him security and fulfillment.
Yeah, and the ghost of Christmas past forces him to confront this choice.
Yes.
And the profound loneliness it has created.
And you see him watching his own heart turn to stone.
Yes.
Right before his eyes.
It's almost like a visual metaphor for those walls he's built up.
Absolutely. It sets the stage for the next leg of his journey with the ghost of Christmas present. So the ghost of Christmas present. He's a total contrast to the ghost of Christmas past.
Yeah, he is.
I mean, this jolly giant.
Yeah.
It's all about celebrating the here and now, the abundance, the joy of the season.
But there's also this urgency to his message.
Yes.
It's like he's saying, Scrooge, wake up. Look around you.
Yeah, pay attention.
And then we see the Cratchit family Christmas dinner.
Oh, that scene.
The contrast between their poverty and Scrooge's wealth.
It's really stark.
It is.
The Cratchits, they radiate this warmth.
Yes.
This generosity.
They find joy in the simplest things.
They do.
A small goose, Christmas pudding. Each other's company.
And I think that's a powerful reminder that happiness isn't tied to material possessions.
Tiny Tim.
Oh, Tiny Tim.
raising his little glass, saying, "God bless us, everyone."
Ugh, gets me every time.
Gets me every time.
Especially knowing what might happen to him.
Yeah.
It just adds this whole other layer of heartbreak.
I think Zemeckis really uses Tiny Tim to highlight what's at stake.
Absolutely.
If Scrooge doesn't change, it's not just his soul, but the lives of those around him.
It's power.
And then we see Scrooge's nephew.
Oh, Fred.
Celebrating with his family and friends.
Yeah.
He is the opposite of Scrooge.
He is.
Full of life, laughter, forgiveness.
And even though Scrooge has rejected him over and over again.
Repeatedly.
Fred still reaches out. He wants that family connection.
Yeah, he embodies the Christmas spirit.
He does.
Kindness, generosity, willingness to forgive.
Yeah, and he represents the path not taken for Scrooge.
A life he could have had. But Zemeckis doesn't shy away from the darker side of Victorian society.
Yeah.
Like those two children.
Ignorance and want.
Clinging to the ghost of Christmas presents robes.
Those kids are haunting. They represent the social ills.
Poverty, inequality.
Yeah.
Exploitation.
Yeah, and I think it underscores the consequences of indifference. The need for compassion and social reform.
Yeah, that message is still relevant today.
Absolutely. A Christmas Carol. It speaks to these universal human concerns.
Yes.
Our actions have a ripple effect on those around us.
Especially the vulnerable. All right, so we've seen Scrooge's past, we've witnessed the present, and now we face the ghost of Christmas yet to come.
Ooh, talk about a mood shift.
This guy is terrifying.
He is.
This silent, shrouded figure.
Just pointing at an uncertain future.
I think he embodies our deepest fears about mortality and legacy.
He doesn't even speak, but his presence is so powerful.
Yeah, and what he shows, Scrooge, it's bleak.
It's bleak.
Tiny Tim's death, Cratchit's grief. But the thing that really gets me
What's that?
is the indifference to Scrooge's own death.
Yeah, it's like nobody cares that he's gone.
Even his housekeeper robs him.
She does.
His business partners are glad he's dead.
It's a chilling indictment of a life lived in isolation and greed.
And that final image of Scrooge being pulled towards his own empty grave.
It's a nightmare.
It is. It's like a visual representation of the spiritual emptiness he's created for himself.
Surrounded by wealth, but utterly alone.
But thankfully, it's not too late for Scrooge. He wakes up on Christmas morning, and he's like a new man.
It's like a weight has been lifted from his soul.
He's given a second chance.
He is, and it's a beautiful moment of redemption.
And he's like a man on a mission.
He is.
Donating to charity.
Yeah.
Showering the Cratchits with kindness.
He really embraces the spirit of giving.
It's wonderful to see.
It is. It's a testament to that power of forgiveness,
Yeah.
Forgiving yourself and others.
It's never too late to change.
No, it's not.
And Tiny Tim lives.
He does. He does.
Scrooge's change of heart really does make a difference.
It brings joy and hope to everyone around him.
That scene where he shows up at the Cratchits' Christmas dinner.
Oh, I love that scene.
He's a completely different man.
He is.
Full of love and laughter.
Yeah. It's just a beautiful reminder that our actions have consequences.
Big and small.
Yeah. And even the smallest acts of kindness can have a huge impact.
I think what's so great about this adaptation is that it captures both the darkness and the light of Dickens' story.
Absolutely.
It doesn't shy away from those harsh realities of Victorian society.
No, it doesn't.
But it also celebrates that redemptive power of the human spirit.
Yeah, and it does all that with this incredible visual flair. I mean, Zemeckis' use of motion capture technology.
It's groundbreaking.
It's like nothing we'd seen before.
It creates a world that's both familiar and fantastical, and it draws us into Scrooge's journey.
Yes.
In a way that I don't think traditional animation or live action could have done.
Yeah, you really feel like you're right there with him.
The way those spirits move, the expressions on the characters' faces, the sweeping shots of London.
It's also visually arresting.
It really is.
It's a testament to Zemeckis' vision. He understood that this story is about transformation, about the power of compassion.
And he uses every tool to bring that story to life.
Yes, and he makes it timeless and unforgettable.
Absolutely. I think this version reminds us that we all have a bit of Scrooge in us.
That's true.
We all have the capacity for greed, for selfishness, but we also have the capacity for change.
Yeah, for kindness.
For love.
It's a call to examine our own hearts, to choose compassion and generosity.
That's the message of A Christmas Carol.
It is.
It's about connecting with each other, spreading a little joy and kindness
And maybe we can all experience a little bit of Scrooge's redemption.
this holiday season. Well, that was our deep dive into this holiday classic. If you enjoyed it, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more great movie reviews. We'll see you next time.